Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Ho.
Turned back and forth. Oh! He broke his ankles.
1-1 for Dawson. Batista with a drive. Deep left field. No doubt about it.
What's going on, New Orleans, Louisiana, the party city, the
French
city of
Quarter.
soul. Yes, sir, the French Quarter. And we're going to go ahead and get after this with the season preview for y'all squad. I'm your boy, Brandon.
Hey, what's going on, man? You already know it's Rob.
What's good, y'all? It's Mike. Let's get to it.
And this is the first year without Drew Brees at quarterback. It feels so crazy to
The
say
era
that.
is over,
The
man.
Drew
So
Brees
wild.
era is finally over, but Sean Payton's still there. And they went ahead and got Jameis Winston, who a lot of people love to come at all the time because he threw 30 interceptions that 1 year. But he also did throw 30 touchdowns and also led the league in passing yards.
First ever.
Yeah,
with
first
30
ever.
and 30.
Exactly, which is a wild.
He's a 30 for 30
Yeah,
himself.
he deserves a 30
Yeah,
for 30.
right.
But yeah, that's wild though. And Michael Thomas is going to come back eventually. He was out most of last year. Obviously, he's been dealing with bad ankle injuries or bad ankle issues. So hopefully he can still go ahead and kick it up this season. They're going to need a lot out of Marquez Callaway. He's shown what he could do in the preseason, and I think he can really hold it up until Michael Thomas gets back, and then it's going to be go time for this squad. They also lost Brian Poole, who's going to be out for the year. They just signed him not too long ago, so that's kind of a hit to their secondary. But they did add Jeff Heath, who actually played really well. He's not known for a lot of good things due to his time with the Cowboys, but he actually played really well last year. But some of their main subtractions, obviously, Drew Brees. They lost Emmanuel Sanders, Malcolm Brown, Alice Anzalone, Janoris Jenkins, Trey Hendrickson, and Sheldon Rankins. That's some big names right there. So they lost a lot of players, and they're going to need a lot of people to step up this year. But they did draft Peyton Turner in the first round. He's more of a project-type player. We'll see if he can get anything done for this team this year. They drafted Pete Warner out of Ohio State, I believe, as a linebacker in the second round. He probably won't play too much, but he'll provide some depth at that position. And they got Paulson Adebo, who's looking like he's going to have to start this year due to Brian Poole being out this year. So it's going to be a big year for New Orleans, big transition year.
Yeah, I mean, as we said earlier, the Drew Brees era is over. It didn't exactly have the happy ending I thought it might have, especially after Jared Cook's pitiful playoff performance cost them any chance of beating the Bucs in the postseason. But they could honestly be much more productive at the quarterback position this season with Jameis Winston taking the reins. And obviously it's a little questionable what's going on with Michael Thomas's whole shoulder fiasco situation and putting off surgery and all that kind of shit. But Marquez Callaway showed that he could be a breakout player this year. I think Deontay Harris is one of the fastest players in the game. He could really thrive with a gunslinger like Jameis Winston throwing him the ball, and they could really be two players who really come out of nowhere and have very productive seasons in that Saints offense. Because we've seen Drew Brees have insanely productive seasons under Sean Payton's system, throwing for 5,000 yards like 5 times or something like that. And I would not be surprised at all if Jameis Winston does something like that again this year. The defense was obviously dominant last year. They lost some key players, as you mentioned, but they have some good young players kind of taking those spots over. And the one guy I'd like to focus on, and I think people should be keeping an eye on this year, is Marcus Davenport, a first-round pick a few years ago. And now that Trey Hendrickson is gone, I think Davenport could really step up and be one of the most productive edge rushers in football this year alongside Cam Jordan, really giving that two-man ferocious pass rush that New Orleans had last year and can benefit from again this season.
Yeah, I think Jameis Winston getting eye surgery has to be one of the funniest and craziest
He's been playing with one eye.
of the whole entire offseason. Yeah, I mean, that thing just completely blew my mind. And at first I thought, is it like a scapegoat for him? Like, what the hell's going on? But no, the guy literally got eye surgery. So, hey, let's go ahead and run with it. He won the starting job in New Orleans. He's got a great offensive mind as coach. They have good weapons. Alvin Kamara might as well be a wide receiver. He's going to take a little bit of pressure off of him because you have to stack the box when you have such a stout running back like that. So, hey, let's just keep on going with the quarterback overs, man. We got Jameis Winston over 23 and a half passing touchdowns. I mean, we're talking less than 2 a game at this rate. It's not really that much to ask for. We know he throws the ball down the field. We know he takes chances. And when you take chances, yeah, you can throw interceptions, but you can also throw a lot of passing touchdowns. And that offense, they've never really been stagnant, and a lot of people could say it's because of Drew Brees, but at the end of the day, I think a lot of it has to do with just the overall coaching and just the overall play calling. Guys get open, and Jameis is going to hit those guys.
Yeah, Jameis has the ability to fill it up. Now, I just thought of this random stat that I kind of just looked at the depth chart and recognized. Mickey Loomis and Sean Payton, they love drafting small school DNs, and it's been paying off. They got Trey Hendrickson out of Florida Atlantic. That obviously paid off, especially last year. They got Marcus Davenport out of UTSA. That's the University of Texas San Antonio. That's going to really pay off this year. He's going to break out. And they got Peyton Turner out of Houston this year. So it's really interesting what they're doing with the edge position and how it's really working out, getting these long edge rushers.
Under the radar guys that could take that next step in the NFL.
Definitely.
Well, the New Orleans Saints, they're trying to keep that empire together, even though they don't have Drew Brees. And we're about to head to the Empire State. We got New York on deck.
New York.